First, police have already arrested several BJP workers from across the state who were on their way to attend the rally. Police, in their reply to the BJP, stated that Nabanna is now a high security zone and prohibition under section 144 has been promulgated at and around Nabanna. Now, they've also said that the assembly of 4 or more people will be strictly prohibited in the area around Nabanna, so the exact area where the BJP is today planning their rally. That's why we're expecting dramatic scenes down in Nabanna today. The BJP obviously attempting to bring their workers into the rally. The police saying that the section area has already been declared under section 144. So that's the face-off we're going to be seeing later in the day today. But remember, these battle lines are being drawn between the Trinamool Congress and the BJP over the role of central investigating agencies. You saw these supposed seizures of large amounts of cash that have put the West Bengal ruling party in a very tight spot. You remember just on September 10th, you had the ED that seized some money. I'm actually going to go back to the story in a second. First, we have Saugata Roy from the TMC. He's with us right now. Sir, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us here on CNN News 18. So we just heard from Rahul Sinha at the BJP, and the big claim that Sinha was making was that you've never seen these kind of arrangements to stop a party across the state. He's saying this is unprecedented and the police is just being used as a puppet. The state machinery is being used as a puppet to prevent the BJP in their march. So what do you have to say to that? I don't want us so much to argue about what the BJP is protesting. I'd like us to just talk about the fact that the BJP is saying they want to protest and they're not being allowed to protest. So to that, what do you have to say?
No. The police has been warning the BJP and the police has not officially given a permission for the march.
Right.
Because during the last Nabanna march of BJP, there is a lot of violence. So the police is interested in preventing violence. And that's why if the BJP still goes ahead with the march, the police has to take all precautionary measures to prevent the occurrence of violence.
Sure.
That's all the police is doing.
Sir, but what I want to understand...
Of police acting as a...
Sir, what I want to understand from you here, though, to your point, is that if the police was invested in preventing violence, shouldn't an alternate either day or venue be suggested? After all, this is your party's main opposition in the state. Don't they have the right to protest?
They have the right to have a march. They're having so many marches, so many meetings now, but they're trying to go to the seat of the government.
Right.
Where the headquarters of the state government are located.
Right.
And this is also likely to cause severe traffic disruption. This is what the police wants to prevent. There is no excessive activity by police except to prevent violence and lawlessness.
Okay, sir, one last question for you. Since you are a senior TMC leader, I thought it would be correct to ask you, sir, if the BJP is able to give a guarantee today or in the future that their Nabanna march will go through peacefully, then, sir, do you think an arrangement could be reached with the police officials in the area?
But they have not done so.
Yes, sir. I'm just asking if they were to do so, because we will end up having BJP leaders on the show.
Nobody... You see, all these decisions are taken by the police commissioner. So nobody from the BJP made the police top brass and assured them of peaceful conduct of the march.
So
the police, they are acting on their own. They are saying, we'll do this, we'll do that. The police naturally has to take precautionary steps. That's all the police is doing.
Okay, sir. So let me just confirm with you. You are saying that if BJP top leadership had taken out the time to meet with police officials, it is possible that today they may have gotten permission to lead this rally. Is that correct?
May, because I cannot speak on behalf of the police.
Obviously.
All I'm saying is that that would be a way, but they have not gone into that.
Okay, all right. And so one last question for you before we let you go. I do want to understand from you, sir, the BJP is saying that this is the TMC taking out, the TMC on their last feet. They're fighting here, according to the BJP. The BJP says over the last few weeks, you've seen the TMC tackle multiple allegations of corruption, and this is them putting up their last defenses. To that, sir, what do you have to say?
Oh, no. There's nothing. TMC is a party with a vast majority in the state assembly.
Right.
There may have been one or two allegations, but TMC is firmly in power, and TMC's power doesn't extend to the assembly only. It's also among the people. TMC is strong in every area.
Okay.
So what can be...
Sir, could I just request you to stay with us, because we actually have a BJP leader with us. I'd love to go to her and then come back to you, because you did make an important point that I want to take to her. Priyanka Tibrewal with us right now from the BJP in West Bengal. Ma'am, thank you so much for joining us this morning here at CNN News 18. Ma'am, I want to ask you, we were talking right now to the TMC MP Saugata Roy, and his point was that the main fear of police administration in the area is the possibility of violence. He says previously, BJP rallies have not been peaceful, and his main point was that if BJP top leadership had taken out the time to meet with police leadership, perhaps they would have gotten permission for today. To that, ma'am, what do you have to say?
Listen, this is not that BJP is doing this rally without taking police permissions or without informing them. This is from the last 2 months that everything was written to them, and whatever Mr. Roy is telling now, that there is always violence. Who is to be blamed for this violence? This is the TMC who should be blamed for the violence. Forget about the rallies. A simple procession goes out on the street. They pelt stones. They hurl bombs.
Right.
And they are talking about violence. The only violent party which exists in West Bengal is the TMC. Now all the more because their thieves are being caught every day with stacks of cash. So they are so uncomfortable because they do not have an answer to the public. Now the entire West Bengal is watching this, that these corrupt chores and jail returned netas, including Mr. Roy, so they have to answer to the people.
Okay, so ma'am, if I could quickly check with you, sending your top leadership in the state to meet police leadership is not something that the party plans to have on its agenda at any time soon. Is that correct to say?
Actually, I am not aware about the same because I am not in Calcutta at the moment. But the thing is, again, I will say that this has been done on purpose. Police administration is being used by the TMC every time.
Okay. All right. That's Priyanka Tibrewal from the BJP in West Bengal. Remember, the BJP has a huge march planned for today across Kolkata. 3 different rallies are going to be taking place, led by BJP West Bengal leadership, also by some of the Union Minister of State that belong to the BJP in the party. This is a huge rally, as we've already said. We do know that the BJP is bringing in workers from across the state to participate in this rally. It's aimed to be a massive show of strength. The West Bengal government, remember, has been beaten down by multiple claims over the last few days of corruption. Let's go back to Priyanka Tibrewal. I believe she's actually still with us on the phone. All right, I actually believe we may have lost our connection with Priyanka.